Thanks for tuning in to another video, and for today I have the SomniPods 3 Sleep Earbuds. This is a new category of earbuds, and they've become very popular lately. Why? Well, because a lot of us sleep in noisy environments and have difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, and regular earbuds were not enough. Can you sleep with regular earbuds? Some people probably do. This is the Bose Quiet Comfort earbuds, and I am a side sleeper and I definitely cannot sleep with these. This is SomniPods 3 Sleep Earbuds. I mean, look at the difference in size. It's amazing. Try to compare them a little bit there. There we go. Look at that difference. So, unless you sleep on your back and remain mostly motionless throughout the night, I don't think you're going to be able to sleep with these. That's just my opinion. Also, these regular earbuds are probably going to fall out and wind up lost in the sheets somewhere during the night. This is why the SomniPods 3 exist. Look how thin these are. And these will also fit deeper in the ear. They will stay in your ear, and I think they are much more comfortable to sleep with than any regular earbuds. Then, of course, the SomniPods 3 earbuds have specific software features that are designed to help you fall asleep and stay asleep. I've been using these to sleep with, and in this video I will discuss the buds, the features, and show you in the app all the features and the settings that you can customize. Now let's start with the buds. But first, you probably want to know the price. This retails in the United States for $205, but check out my description for the best price and a discount code if they are available. And right now, these are on sale for $170. These buds are designed to fit flush with the ear, so even if you are a side sleeper, there is no pressure on the ear. I've been wearing these all night, and again, I'm a side sleeper, and I have been very comfortable with these and had no issues with them falling out or anything like that. I would like to thank Fitnexa for providing me with this review product, but there is no other financial support. So go to all these different tip sizes that you get. So there are actually 5 different sizes, and you get the medium size that comes on there by default. And you can see here, this has a little flange at the end of it. And then these are the other sizes of the ones with the flange on the end. And then these are just the round tips over here. Then you also get 3 different sizes of this wing tip right over here. And you can see how that fits. And these are different sizes. You got medium on there, and then you got large, extra large, and small. So a lot of different fit options for you. So the medium-sized tips and the medium-sized wings were on the buds by default, and they actually fit me perfectly. So I got great passive noise cancellation on this. So just putting these in your ear quiets things down quite a bit. So if you don't notice this, check the fit and maybe try some different tip sizes, because again, these should be very comfortable and they should provide a very tight seal. And also there is some directions on how to actually fit this in the ear just right. I'll put a picture of that up right now just so you can kind of see some of the different ways to fit these. It's not very hard to fit. Now these are not just for sleeping. You can also wear these and use the Active Noise Cancellation and play your music or white noise to block out distractions while you're working or meditating or basically doing whatever. I'll talk more about that a little later. First, let me give you a personal example of how good these work. So when I first put these on, I just had some very low white noise playing in the background because I actually don't like to have a loud white noise when I'm going to sleep. But my wife was talking and I could not even hear anything. Now, I don't mean I couldn't understand what she was saying. I mean, I didn't even know that she was talking to me. I actually had to take the buds out to hear what she was saying. This is how a fight starts. So, life tip. Maybe give your partner a heads up before you put these buds in. Just saying, just to be on the safe side. Like I said, these are designed for sleeping, but you could use these like normal earbuds, and you can listen to anything coming out of your phone, your tablet, or your TV, and they actually sound better than expected. And you can use these in sleep mode or normal mode, and I'll show you the difference in a minute. But first, let me show you 3 unexpected features that you get with these. I didn't mention it yet, but the buds are compatible with Apple and Android, and this is the app that you need, Fitnexa. So let's click on that. Okay, so this is what the app looks like, and there are a couple of different sections of the app, but basically the only ones we're going to be using is the home and the sleep, and this is for if you have some other devices. So let me click on this spot right here, and I'm going to go through all this in just a minute, but first again, I want to show you those features that you don't expect to get at this price point. So we're going to scroll down here, and sound settings. Click on this. You get a 10-band EQ in there, so that's pretty awesome right there. And you get some presets, and then you could also customize this and save a customized EQ setting if you want. Again, not expected at this price point. Now, the other thing that you get is, let's go down to more settings, click on this, and dual device connection. So this is multi-point connection. So you could say I have the Z Fold 6 already paired with it, but I could add a device. So I could have 2 devices hooked up with this. So that's awesome that this is included in a sleep earbud. Then the other thing is you get wireless charging on this case, which is really great. And let me just show you a little bit more about this case here. You got the indicator light there. You got the USB-C in the back, and again, wireless charging, which is great. And then you got your Bluetooth reset button right there. And of course, you open this up. This is not going to open up if you shake it. That doesn't happen. And these don't pop out. Very strong magnets, so no issues with that. And this is how they fit in very easily, honestly. Do they just pop in the right spot? So just get them close and you're all set. So if these are your first earbuds, you could actually use them for everything. I mean, they sounded very good. You do have a customizable EQ there, so that is wonderful. But the main purpose of these is sleeping. And for sleep buds, they need to be comfortable and they need to block out the background noise. I mean, that's really the two functions of these buds. And I already told you how comfortable these are. So let's talk about the noise blocking. So Fitnexa calls this system the Sleep Noise Control. And it's made up of a couple of things. The first one is the Passive Noise Cancellation, or the PNC. And I talked about this before. These do fit well in the ears and they do block out a lot of noise. And then you also get the Active Noise Cancellation, which not all sleep earbuds have, surprisingly. Now, there's one disadvantage with that, is that it uses up some battery. Now, more about that later. The third part of this is the adaptive fit. And I think this kind of goes along with the passive noise cancellation, but the company separates these out, probably because very few earbuds have this wing feature that makes them fit better and gives you, again, a little more noise isolation. And then you get the sleep masking. So you could be playing music or white noise, and the app actually has a lot of different options. I'll show you those in just a moment. But you could also fall asleep listening to your music, an audiobook, podcast, whatever you want to play. Basically, you can listen to anything that will help you fall asleep and stay asleep. And you could also set the music or the audiobook to stop at a certain point. Okay, now let's talk about just a quick safety note here. These do block out the noise surprisingly well. So if you do need to stay alert at night, or you're taking care of someone or taking care of your baby, and you need to be able to hear them or hear the baby crying, then you may not want to wear these. Even if you wear these without the active noise cancellation, I think just with the passive noise cancellation and just having these in your ears and playing even a little bit of music in the background do effectively block out a lot of the background noise. So be cautious with these initially and just make sure you're able to hear everything you need to. Now let me show you some of the features that are available in the app. Okay, so I'm in the app here, and these are basically my three options here. I have normal mode, again, that's just regular Bluetooth mode. I got the sleep mode, and I got auto sleep detect. All right, and I'll go through these in a moment. Now, you can see I got 10 hours in normal mode, which is great. And I do have active noise cancellation off. So I can't turn this on unless I put the earbuds in, because if I click on it here, it says wear the earbuds to switch modes. Okay, so now let me turn on the active noise cancellation. Hopefully I'm not talking overly loud right now. Let me do this and then look at the hours here. So we went from 10 hours to 5.5. That's with the noise cancellation on in normal mode. So this is the biggest battery drain right here. If you're in anything else, you'll be fine. And again, if I just turn this off, I get 10 hours. Now, if I go to sleep mode, I get 11 hours. And then if I turn on the active noise cancellation, 5.7. And then the auto detect. And again, this is with the active noise cancellation on, 5.6. But if I turn it off, you can see you got plenty of time with that. And honestly, with the passive noise cancellation, and if you did have some white noise or something playing in the background, I didn't really need the active noise cancellation on, and it blocked out my noisy environment just fine. So you can experiment with that and see what happens. Now, even if it doesn't last all night, it still got you to sleep and kept you to sleep for 5 or 6 hours, right? So that's kind of all you want them to do. But let me get into some more details here. Let me take these out of my ear. And the other thing is, it does give you your exact battery percentage of your left and the right, which is nice, and also the case. Again, I like the percentages. I hate when they put a little graph there with like 4 bars, and it's really kind of hard to tell how much battery is left. This tells you exactly what's going on, so I do like that. Now let me get it back into normal mode, and then I'm going to show you all the options for your sleep library. Let's click on this. So this is the wind down. Let's click on this, and you see what we got here. A bunch of stuff here. This is all of them, and this is guided meditation. So that's the wind down there. We got insomnia, mindful. I mean, you can see there's a bunch of stuff here, right? Save sounds, you could pick some, and then you could save them so that the frequently used or the ones that you like the most, you could save here. But then we go into sleep, and these are the options. Again, I'm going to show you there's a lot more, actually. And then we go into this relaxation. This is what we have for relaxation. So we got meditation. Again, several here. Then we got focus. I got a bunch there. I mean, I could have cafe music, if you kind of like, you don't like the white noise, you actually like some activity in the background. But then, if you scroll up here, we're going to go to create your own mix. So go ahead and do this. And again, look at all these different options. This is all of them, but they're broken down into different categories. And you even have the brain waves. So this kind of, I don't know, this maybe helps you fall asleep. It kind of gives you a different pulsing noise in between the ears, and that's supposed to help you fall asleep. It doesn't really do much for me, but if you're interested in it, that's what's available. And again, there's a lot of different options to go through. They also do have some melodies and stuff like that. But let me just show you all of them. And you can see here, I mean, you get, the white noise, the waves, the rain, winds, fire. Basically any kind of white noise you've ever heard of is on here. And I just don't have a good signal where I am. Otherwise, all these things would load up. And then you could actually make a combination of these. So you can click one, and that's my current mix, right? And then I could add something else to it, and then something else. And now, if I click on this, I'm going to be able to customize it a little bit. I can get rid of one, if I didn't like it. But then I like that gray noise. I can make that a little louder, and I could fool around with these things, so that's nice. And then I could add sounds. And so you got, 10 things I could add in here. So that's kind of great. It gets a little muddied after like 2 or 3 of these, but if you want to add more, you definitely could. And then again, you could even add a brainwave on top of these. So that's a lot of stuff going on. But you could do that if you wanted to. I'm just going to get out of this. I'm going to discard it. And then if you create one, it will be right over here in your saved sounds. And then you can name it. And again, you can go to that. That could be your go-to. And you could just click on that every night if you want to. This is normal mode, or the Bluetooth mode. So the phone is still connected to the buds, and it's basically generating this music and sending it to the buds. But you could have it where it's just using the music that's stored on the buds. And you actually have to put it in that mode to get your sleep data. And I'll show you that just in a little bit. Okay, so again, we're going to go into sleep right here. And then if I just click up here, it's going to open up my sleep modes, or basically the 3 sounds that are already on the buds. And if I just click with this little icon here, it's going to show me the 3 of them, right? Now, the only thing is, and I contacted the company about this, but you only get 3 different options. And it's only these 3. And I thought I saw somewhere that you could store 3 sounds on the buds. So this might change with the software update. You might be able to edit this. So if you bought these buds a little later after this video is produced, that might change and improve. But right now you only have the 3 options. And the other thing I don't like about this is these noises that are on the buds. They will play for a little bit, and then they kind of fade out, and then they'll fade back in and play again. I don't really like that. So I usually keep it in the normal mode, which has a continual sound, basically. So I kind of like that. I don't like the breaks in between, but, everyone likes something different. Now, the only thing is, again, to get any sleep data, you have to put it in the sleep mode. So when I'm using these for sleep, I use it in the normal mode, but just for you guys, I actually tried to take a nap and use the sleep mode just for you so I can get some sleep data to show you what you get. Being a YouTube creator here is not all fun and games, so sometimes you got to do stuff. Okay, so this is sleep data, and again, this is just a quick little nap. That was a short nap. I wish I had a little more time. But that's all I had there. And now, if I had a full sleep data, it's going to give you a graph of your deep sleep, your light sleep, and your awake time. It just has light data for me right now because that's all it detected. But this is actually kind of cool with the buds. So it's going to give you your turnover time. So if you flip them back and forth, it'll tell you how many times and, the frequency per hour. That's kind of just a cool feature. You thought you slept great and you were flipping around like 20 times an hour. So that's kind of just interesting. And then also it'll tell you here if you're left side, right side, back, or stomach sleeping. So again, that might just give you some information. If you wake up and your right side's sore, or your shoulder's hurting or something like that, it'll just tell you how you were sleeping. So I just like that kind of information. So if you use any kind of smartwatches or bands or fitness trackers or anything like that, they'll record your sleep data, but none of them will give you this information that's right here. So that's just kind of cool that the buds have that. Okay, so let me just show you some more features of the app here. Now, you also do get an AI sleep coach, and basically it uses your sleep data to give you insights. And you could also ask it questions like, how do I get better sleep, or how do I go to sleep quicker, or stuff like that, and it'll give you information. And I haven't used that much because, again, I haven't really used the sleep data. So I showed you some things here, and there's a couple more things to go through. As I said before, you could have it in the normal mode, sleep mode, or the auto detect here. Now, if you have it in the sleep mode or the auto sleep mode, you could have the audio stop after a certain period of time. You just click on it and you could pick whatever you want. So that is nice because if you maybe just need it to fall asleep and you don't need it to keep asleep, then you could just do, like I said, an hour, and then the music will cut out and then you'll get more battery life of your buds. So that would be nice. Then you could also turn off the active noise cancellation after your period. It's great out now because I have it off and I'm not wearing them, so I can't toggle it on. But that's a nice feature. And the active noise cancellation is the thing that kills the battery the most. So if you just wanted to put this on for an hour, you fall asleep, and then you just need some background music just to keep you asleep, then that works out great. And then you'll have plenty of battery life on these things. All right, let me scroll up to the top here, and let me just click on this section right here. And it's going to give me some more information. I got the battery information that I had on the other page. This is the battery remaining, which is nice. I could change my modes again right there. And then if we keep scrolling here, I got my sleep library that I showed you before, but I have alarm and bedtime. So you can click on this. You can get a bedtime reminder. So if you got the buds in and you're watching a movie on your tablet or TV or something like that, it'll just give you a gentle reminder that, hey, it's time to go to bed, in case you're losing track of time. So that's nice. And then you got an alarm that you can set here. This is nice because the alarm will sound only in your earbuds, so you won't wake up your partner. So that's nice. And then we get a tap control. So you do get touch controls on these buds. And the app is not completely optimized for my foldable phone here. So let me just show you on the other screen. Every phone you have, this is going to work out just perfectly. There's a couple of menus that don't work when you unfold your phone, but if you have a regular phone, again, no issues at all. But again, these are our options: double tap and tap 3 times. So you don't have the push and hold, and you don't have the single tap, because that could go off inadvertently in the middle of the night, and you don't want that to happen, most likely, right? So let's click on the double tap. These are our options, and these are the options for the double tap, the triple tap, and then you could just set them for the left and the right. And for some reason, if you didn't like this because you were triggering them by accident or something like that, you could just hit none on these. And again, all the options are exactly the same. Okay, so there's voice prompts. So when you use the touch controls, you usually get a little voice prompt of what you did. So this you could change the volume for, because this was actually pretty loud by default, so I lowered that down. And then you got some prompts that you may or may not want to turn off. But if you have low battery and you've been sleeping for 6 hours, you don't want it to kind of wake you up. So you could turn that off. Same thing with your power off alert. And then the tap alert, you don't need a tone every time you touch it. But it's nice sometimes, especially in the beginning, just to know that you actually touched it. After I wore this for like a day or two, I got used to the double tap and triple tap. It's very easy to space out and get it to activate. Then again, you could switch the mode. So you go from Bluetooth mode to sleep mode. Maybe you want to hear it, maybe you don't. And with the noise cancellation, again, maybe you want to hear it switching or not. Then we got the sound settings. That's the EQ that I showed you before. You got the Find My Device. Again, you can find each one separately, so that's nice. And then we got the more settings. I showed you the dual device connection, which is the multi-point connection like I told you before. But then also you got Bluetooth audio quality. So if you click on this, look at all these codecs that it has. And then you can click it so it's sound quality first. This uses a little more battery. If you don't need the high definition Bluetooth, you could turn it off, and you can make connection stability more important than actual quality. So then it will maintain better connection and save you some battery. So that's up to you. It's nice that you have that feature. And again, it's nice that these codecs are included in sleep earbuds. That's not a normal thing. Okay, so that is all I have. Leave it in the comments if you are planning on purchasing the SomniPods 3 Sleep Buds and why. Or if you already purchased it, let me know what your favorite feature is. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.